What's up, y'all? Wood Memorial Super Saturday here as we're coming in to the final stretch on the Kentucky Derby. A historic race this one is, yet it's not paying a historic price. They've still got it at $750,000. That's right, I said it. A measly $750,000. Does that even buy a house in New York anymore? And yet, that is their top 3-year-old Derby prep race. Half the price of the Arkansas Derby, I might mind you. Half. I think that's a bit embarrassing. Should at least be $1 million. Somebody in the NYRA needs to get on that. If somebody knows why, please let me know why you do that. In New York, they have plenty of money to spend on plenty of other things. You could certainly spend some more money to attract more money into this race. At any rate, though, this race is going to be somewhat consequential because of the reason it hasn't produced a Derby winner in a long time, in my opinion, is because it doesn't pay enough, and they haven't kept the pay up. The last Derby winner was 2000 Fusaichi Pegasus, so quite a ways back on that one. You look over the history here, you've got horses like Seattle Slew. We did have a lot of horses as of late in the breeding, on the breeding side of things coming from this race. Tappet was a winner here. Empire Maker, the grandfather of American Pharaoh, won here. We had Vino Rosso, champion horse, win here. Verrazano had a win here. So this race does produce quality horses, even though they're not always going to be competitive in the Kentucky Derby. We're looking at a 6:10 Eastern Daylight Time post time coming up on Saturday for this one. We're also going to have the Bluegrass and the Santa Anita Derby on that day. So let's get into it. Lots of horses to look at this week. And number one, we're getting started with the controversy already. Number one, Rodriguez, the Baffert horse, being ridden by Mike Smith. Horse is out of Authentic. Now, Baffert's got a couple of wins in this race here. 06, Bob and John. In 01, he won with Congaree. Got Mike Smith riding the horse. He's won it before with Unbridled Song. He's won 92 in Devil's His Dude. Is 96 with Unbridled Song. And going back to 1990, 36 Red winner in this race. Mike Smith way, way back in the early 90s. This horse, last out, Flavian Pratt rode him. You got to note that Mike Smith hasn't ridden him before, so that could be an issue. Last out, he was third, 11 lengths off in the San Felipe Stakes. Not a good performance out there. He was looking good a couple before that. Second in the R.B. Lewis. He was had a win at Santa Anita and got that mile in 1:35. That, to me, was probably the most impressive time-wise race on the page. They are switching the jockey to a more experienced jockey. Don't know if Mike Smith is quite big money Mike. This isn't big money race. But he's definitely got more experience. I don't know whether they would have been better off with going back to J.J. Hernandez, who was riding him before. But, oh, that's right. Juan Hernandez is injured. Yes. So Mike Smith aboard. Baffert's probably going to send this horse. I think he's probably going to end up controlling the pace. He's probably going to end up controlling the race, or at least the way the race is going to develop. I don't know if he's going to be able to win because he's going to have to go and leave all these horses behind. He's probably, I don't know. Does he have the speed to do that? I don't know. Probably. I don't think Baffert doesn't really do that New York thing. I mean, you see slow paces in this race a lot of times. They open up the half mile at 49, 40, 49, 50, 51 seconds sometimes. That's not going to happen this time, in my opinion. I think they're going to get after it. At least, I don't want to get into the pace right now, but this horse has looked to be forwardly placed. So, horse out of Authentic, Bob Baffert, Mike Smith, 4-1 in the morning odds. Lots of experience in this one. Depends if you want to kind of go with the chalk. I don't know where he's going to be. He's not the chalk on this page. He's second favorite, though. That could easily change by race time. Number 2 is Captain Cook. Manny Franco's riding this one out of Practical Joke, who's an Into Mischief horse. Lots of Into Mischief horses. And in the breeding this year. Horse trained by Rick Dutrow. Winner of the Withers Stakes. Withers, slow time in that one. I don't put too much behind that, but he was able to get a good win after a slow pace. Had a win before that. 9-length win and 7 furlong. Manny Franco was riding him in that one as well. So keeping the same jockey here. 3 races back. Sixth at Churchill Downs and a 6 furlonger. So he's coming off a couple good races. Likes the track. 4-1 in the morning odds. I think that's going to go up because of the Manny Franco thing. Hey, maybe some people locally like him. I think he's going to need some luck because Manny Franco, as I said last week, I just can't put my faith in him to win. He did end up running second there in the Florida Derby, but didn't get it done on Sovereignty, who a lot of people thought was a superior horse. So I don't necessarily think Captain Cook is the superior horse in this one. Don't know if he's going to be able to get it done, but he should be competitive. Number 3, Tiger 24, a Lord Nelson horse out of Pulpit. Ridden by Javier Castellano. Got a couple of wins in this one. 2012 on Gemologist. 05 on the Steinbrenner horse, Bellamy Road. Bill Mott's the trainer. He won last year with Resilience. Also won 2019 with Tacitus. So he's got the experience here as well. Lots of experience in this one this year. Horse last out. Just broke his maiden at Gulfstream. Win, mile 137. Before that, a second. Gulfstream as well. Going longer distances here. He ran second there at a mile 116th. Before that was a 6 furlonger. But he did break his maiden at a mile. So you like to see that. But I don't like these horses that are coming straight from a maiden win, and then we're going to just go into a major Derby prep race. So that's a lot to handle. He's got a guy that can do it. I just think he's going to need the luck. I think the horse is really that slow, so I think he will be able to handle it. It's going to be up to Castellano. If he gets him a good ride, he can win. I just don't think the horse is really dominant. Number 4, My Matoli, horse out of Matoli, who is an Escandrea horse, winner of this race. Probably going to be forwardly placed again. Luis Rivera Jr. riding this one. They got him at 21 in the morning odds. 4th last out in the Gotham Stakes. That was another one of these slow-paced races. That mile ended up in the Gotham at 139. I'm not expecting that to be this slow, but at any rate, he was still 4th there. Got a win before that. Another 139 mile, slow time. A 137 mile before that to break the maiden, so the horse can do a little bit better. Going to be forwardly placed. Might be to his detriment. I don't think anybody's going to really try to run away from the pace too much in this one. That might get to him. Does he have the speed to be able to win it? Yeah, to be able to get a win. He's not really dominant, but he's competitive. He's got a competitive speed amount, so I could see why you might want to go to him at 30-1. I probably won't be going there with my Matoli, though. Number 5 is Sand Devil. This horse is sired by Violence out of Medaglia d'Oro. Mother's Father's Mineshaft. That's a New York breeding. One New York bred horse won the Kentucky Derby. That was Funny Side, a gelded horse. New York breeding doesn't usually do that well in the Derby. However, when I look at the actual horses, you got the Medaglia d'Oro and the Mine Shaft in there. maybe the Sand Devil thing might translate. 8-1 in the morning odds. Jose Lezcano's riding him. Now, Jose Lezcano has been around for a long time. Rode in Arlington, Hawthorne. And then we've seen him riding in New York, Saratoga. And he's a good jockey. He doesn't always get the best mounts. But you don't want to sleep on Jose Lezcano. He can always surprise you. If his odds get too big, he's a good guy you want to take because he can provide a lot of value. He's very underrated, as I say, as a jockey. Linda Rice, the trainer, 23% win percentage on the meet. Okay, fair. Problem with this horse, I think, even though not going to be up front, probably going to be near the front, could come to a disadvantage of the horse. Horse has done a lot of New York running. Got a few wins against New York breds, 6 furlonger, a mile. Then came in, this was the Damon Ryan Stakes. Is that what it says? Not sure. $125,000 stakes race, New York bred. Got a win there, 7 furlongs, 124, respectable. Steps it up going against the full competition outside of the state breds. Second in that Gotham. So, I mean, I guess you could give the horse some credit for that, coming up in class. But now the horse is going to need to take another step up. I think Lezcano is going to need to take a bit of a step off this pace. I think the pace is going to get choppy. I'm going to get into that too soon. I think being a bit off of this pace might come to his advantage, as long as he can get a good, clean path to the finish line. I do think he is a bit faster than a lot of these other horses. A little bit faster, but his placement might be a problem. Number 6, Hill Road. A quality road horse out of Elusive Quality. Mother's father's lemon drop kid. So you've got definite distance breeding with this one. 6-1 in the morning odds. Joel Rosario riding him. Chad Brown, who was arrested, I read. I don't know if it's fake news or not. I read Daily Racing Form. Chad Brown was arrested. Said he threw a woman down a flight of stairs. And then they're saying, well, she broke into his house and began attacking him. And I don't know. I guess it was an ex of his or something. So, I mean, I guess that could be plausible. Maybe it's a setup. Maybe Baffert or Brad Cox or Todd Pletcher paid this woman to create this distraction and throw things off in the barn, in the Brown barn. I don't know. Do I like to see that? No, I don't like distractions. I don't like any kind of distractions. If I'm looking to bet on something, I want things to be looking clean and smooth before you're going into the race, or a game, or a fight, or anything. Any kind of distractions, I don't think is good for any kind of athletes, and this is definitely a distraction. Rosario's a pro, though, so hopefully he can hold it together for them in their barn. 2022 Rosario got a win here. Mo Donegal. 2015 Rosario got a win here as well with Frosted. This horse, Rosario hasn't ridden him before, though. Tyler Gaffleone rode him last out, third place, 6 lengths behind in the Tampa Bay Derby. That was a decent time in that race, 142, 6 lengths off. Before that, rode in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Umberto Rispoli rode in there at Del Mar. Third place, not bad, 4 lengths off there. Horse was coming from Ireland. When this Vincent O'Brien Stakes here is at 7th place there. Riding on the turf, got a win in the turf at a mile there. I don't know about this stuff. Coming from Ireland and a turf horse, but he translated decently well to the Breeders' Cup for a 3rd place. But then ran another 3rd in Tampa. You'd want to see him do better there. So he's stepping up with Rosario here. You're going to want to see, in my opinion, you're going to want to see Hill Road definitely hit the board, probably get a win here, or else you're going to be thinking other things for this horse. Even though he is bred really well, I think it might still be too much for him. I think he is a little bit faster, than a couple of these other horses. The average horse, I'd say in this race. But I don't know if he's really going to have it. I think he's probably going to be a bit outmatched. Rosario, I think, will get him a good ride. I don't know if we'll be able to get him home, though. Number 7. This horse is the favorite, a very weak favorite at 7-2. Grande, a curling horse, being ridden by Dylan Davis. Now, Dylan Davis on the meet, 21% win percentage. So, yeah, for a jockey, you want to see a 20% win percentage. He's doing well on this track, but he's got a lot of experience. I mean, you see the guys he's facing in this race that have got wins in the race when you're looking at jockeys and trainers. I mean, you don't have Johnny V or anything, but I mean, you've got Mike Smith, Kendrick Caribou just won the race for. You got Castellano, Manny Franco. I mean, there's a lot of guys with a lot of experience riding here. So Dylan Davis, even though he's got what's considered the favorite now, I think he's still going to have his work cut out for him. Horse is trained by Todd Pletcher. Now, Todd Pletcher owns this race recently. 7 of the last 15 Wood Memorials won by Todd Pletcher. One more win, and he will be tied for the most with it. I think it was Suny Fitzsimmons had the most wins. His last winner was Bold Ruler. Way back, I think it was in the 50s with Bold Ruler. So a long time since someone's dominated the Wood Memorial in the fashion that Pletcher has been doing as of late. 2010, Escandrea. 2012, Gemologist. 2013, Verrazano. 2016, Outwork. 18, Vino Rosso. 21, Bourbonic. 22, Mo Donegal. So he's trying to do it again with Grande. Horse is undefeated. Part of the reason why Pletcher wins this race is because he knows how to enter certain horses in certain races in order to get them into the Kentucky Derby. For the longest time, he didn't win a Kentucky Derby. And he was known for being the guy that can get you into the Kentucky Derby and not win it. And the reason was because he knew how to win prep races by getting the right horses on the right prep path to get to the Derby. Hey, he said, that's what I'm paid to do. I'm not necessarily paid to win it. I'm paid to get there. Now, as I figured eventually he would get a win, he's done that now. Looking to put another win up here. Is this the horse to do it? I don't know. 2 wins at Gulfstream. I think that translates well because of the weather, the humidity, being down here in Miami, and he's going to go up there to New York, getting crisp, clean, fresh air after being conditioned to the humidity. It's just like being hooked up to an oxygen machine. So the horse win at a mile and 1/16, a mile and 1/8, at Gulfstream, 150 with Johnny V. Win before that broke the maiden at a mile at Gulfstream. Johnny V again at 137. So the only thing I would like to see it was Johnny V. If Johnny V was riding him, I think the horse is probably going to be a 9-5. But with Dylan Davis, therein lies the challenge. And then you got the fact that he's not going to be on the front of the race. I don't think the traffic should be too much problem for him. Definitely wouldn't be a problem for Johnny V. But will it be a problem for Dylan Davis? I don't know. I think that's really going to be it's going to be a big Dylan Davis question mark. Number 8, Passion Rules. Horse out of Parisian Fire, who is an AP Indy horse. For all the one young people that are going to be watching this, 1 or 2 young people were watching this video. Before there was Tappet came out of the AP Indy line. AP Indy line, extremely strong breeding because AP Indy had Seattle, Slough, and Secretariat. So that was about as good as the breeding got. I mean, and it lasted for years. And it still lasts for years as Tappet's the most dominant sire now. So they reached back and found a little link into the AP Indy with the Parisian Fire horse. Going back into Touch Gold, another great horse with the good breeding there. Touch Gold won I'm not going to misquote. Multiple stakes. I don't want to misquote and get into which ones Touch Gold won, but he had multiple stakes wins. Uh, Horse is a Maryland bred. I guess where the freezing fire angle comes from. I think this could translate well. Kendrick Caramouche riding the horse. I'm not a big fan of his, but when he was riding for Pletcher, he got some good mounts. He did get a win here. That was 2021 Bourbonic. So with a good horse, he can get it done. Hey, I sound harsh when I talk about jockeys. I think sometimes it's not an easy thing to do and to be consistently good at. So when I say a guy's not that good, you got to be good to make it to this level. So I'm speaking relatively. That being said, I do think he's good enough to get this win. Horse trained by Brad Cox. You got the breeding, you got the trainer. He's got enough experience to get the win here. Horse is coming off a win. Optional claimer at Oaklawn. 146 in a Mom was seat. That's just slow. Coming off another win at Fairgrounds. Mile and 70 yards, 142. A win before that as well. This was a maiden optional claimer at Fairgrounds that was moved off of the dirt onto the dirt. So what you see here, you see a horse that they were thinking was a turf horse, won on dirt. They kept him on dirt. He won again. Moved him to Oaklawn. He won again. He hasn't done anything. These times aren't that impressive, but he just keeps winning. So you can't hold that against the horse, even though I think it's going to be a big ask for him to take this much time off of what he's done before. You look at his workouts, he's doing what you want to see. 59 breezing, 47 breezing, a 48 breezing before that. So he's moved his way up to this 59. I think 8-1 is too low. If he was still in over double digits, I would really like to see that. 13-1 or more, probably. Maybe the odds go back up when I throw a little something on him to go long. Because the horse has shown that he likes to win. He just hasn't put together the times. And rarely do you see a horse, even if he is still able to put wins together in the future at better times. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it in this one. Number 9, Bear Claw Necklace. Now, I noticed the name of this horse. The first thing that went into my mind was no, not a necklace made of actual claws, bear claws that were chopped off of bears that were presumably won in a fight that killed the bear. Cut off the bear's claw, multiple bears. Made a necklace out of them. In my mind, I just envisioned a necklace made of bear claw pastries. So if this horse wins, I think I might make one myself because that's going to look kind of crazy. And as much as food costs these days, it's going to might be some decent looking bling to have a bear claw necklace. Maybe they'll get the little mini bear claws at Publix and make a little bear claw necklace out of those. Horse is out of Lord Nelson. Now, the horse's mother's father, his Political Force. Now, that was an interesting horse. Didn't do too much. I think he eventually strung together a grade 1 somewhere. But the horse raced his whole career without Lasix. Back when every horse was on Lasix, Political Force did a whole decent career without it. And I said at the time, I said, this is going to be a thing, this no Lasix thing, because I always questioned whether it was how good it really was. It always appeared to be better, but I was like, is that just simply because they're going to not having any diuretic to using it, and now there's other things you can do to replace it, and blah, blah, blah. So without getting to the medical end of it, short history on Political Force. Horse is ridden by Romero Mara, son of Rajiv Mara. An aggressive guy from time to time. Successful. Enough, as you would say, as a jockey throughout his career. So his son here is looking. These sons are dangerous, in my opinion. Sometimes you look and the guy's like, he's spoiled. Just using his dad's credentials to get in there. Trainer Sappy Joseph, Rajiv Mars used him several times. Sappy Joseph got a win here with Lord Miles back in 23, by the way. So you got Romero Mara. I have a different take on this. I think a guy like Romero Mara is looking to be better than his father. I think he's looking to take it to the next level, a la a Kobe Bryant. Looking to prove that he can get these big wins coming right out of the gate. So surely Romero Mara, I think he's really going to want this one. Going to be forwardly placed. I think that is probably going to be to his disadvantage unless he can get more juice out of this horse than's been shown before. But probably going to be near the lead, if not on it. Past two races, it looked like he really wanted the lead. I wouldn't really say, it was hard to say he was the front runner, even though he got the lead in the beginning, but didn't hold it long enough to really be considered a front runner. He's probably going to be on the front in the first couple of furlongs, and that's enough to take the gas out of the horse. So I don't know if he's going to stay up on the lead, but I think he's probably going to need to in this one. Last out, third place, 8 lengths behind a 136-mile optional claimer at Gulfstream Park. Another Florida horse coming up to New York. Win before that, 7 furlongs of 125 at Gulfstream as well. Before that, he was third, 7 lengths behind in a 6.5 furlonger. I think that translates well. The 30-1, I could see it. If you want to take a stab at a long shot, I could see going for this one. Why? I just think because the thing with the jockey, and you're getting the bump up from Florida, and the fact that I think he lacked aggressiveness in those last 2 races. It's just odd to see horses get as clear of a lead as he had and then give it up. Usually once you get that clear of a lead, you keep it. And he didn't do that twice. So I think this horse is probably going to take a step up. Well, is that going to be enough for him to win? I don't really know. I don't really think so. But I think he's going to run faster than he has before. I just got a feeling about that. Number 10, McAfee. Not sure how they choose to say this when people say this name all different kinds of ways. Don't know if he's named after John McAfee, antivirus founder. A good antivirus program, as a lot of you know, conspiracy theorist of conspiracy theorists. If there was ever one, John McAfee. Guy made a lot of money off the antivirus thing. And I don't want to say went crazy, super paranoid, super paranoid. He knew a lot more stuff than I know, so I don't want to comment on whether what he said was right or wrong. Horse is out of cloud computing. Gotta be why they gave this horse that name, in my opinion. Horse is a brother of Torpedo Anna, last year's Horse of the Year. So if you like that for the breeding, hey, that stuff translates over when the breeding is that close behind. So that's another thing to consider with this one. 30-1 in the morning odds, another thing to like if you're looking to go long in this one. Horse is ridden by Eric Cancel. That I don't like. Going with Eric Cancel, plus he's never ridden him before. Hey, that's what he's got. Rick Dutro's the trainer. Horse last out 5th in the Gotham, 9 lengths behind. L.J. Luzzi was riding him there. Second by a head in this mile in Churchill Downs. 135 mile at Churchill Downs. Just the track's fast. The pace was definitely faster. A win before that at 6 furlong and 111 at Churchill Downs. So yeah, that speed didn't translate into Gotham. Is he going to get it together in this one? I think he's going to do better than he did in the Gotham because I think they're going to run a better pace than they did in the Gotham in this one. I think the horse is fast. Is it going to translate over in this race? I don't think so. I don't think Eric Cancel's going to get it done. I don't want to get ahead of the picks here. I like the horse, don't like the jockey. Think they need somebody else. However, I mean, guys like Eric Cancel, you can kind of go along to get along. And if you do that in a race where, the pace is overpaced and you're not on it, then that can be to his benefit. So he might hit the board. I think he might hit the board. I think it's a decent horse. Just don't like the jockey. Number 11, Statesman, 15-1. Samuel Marine riding this one. Shug McGahee, the trainer, got a winner in this one going way back in the almanac, or for your kids' Wikipedia. 1989 won this race. Easy goer. Got a win in 2018. Yeah, sorry, 98. Sorry, 98. Coronado's Quest. So quite some time since he's bagged a winner here. Horse is sired by Constitution, who was sired by Tappet, who won the Wood. And the horse's mother's father, Empire Maker, won this race as well. So both grandsires of the horse are winners of the race. If that's anything to put as a betting angle, in your opinion on this one. Not to mention the 2 wins from the trainer, Shug McGahee. Samuel Marine, yeah, I would want to see more from the jockey. I would want to see a Johnny V on this horse, but this is what we've got. One last out, Tampa Bay, mile at 40 yards at 140. Before that, broke the maiden at Tampa, mile and 40 yards in that one as well. Before that, running at Gulfstream. So here's what you're looking at. A couple wind runs at Gulfstream, nothing doing. That last maiden special weight at Gulfstream was 11 lengths off the winner. So can't win at Gulfstream, take him to Tampa. So we go to Tampa, bring down the competition level, bang, horse puts up a couple of wins. So now we're coming back. Are those wins going to translate? That's a tough ask in my opinion. You're going to go from Tampa and then you just go straight up to Saratoga. Pardon me, Aqueduct. I think it's a big ask. I think the competition is going to be a bit much for this horse. Even though he does look to run well, probably going to run well in this one, but I think it's going to be a bit much for him. Number 12, Omaha, 20-1 in the morning odds. Raul Mena riding this one. Horse is out of Audible, an Into Mischief horse himself. Kitten's Joy on the mother's side. So there's some turf breeding, good breeding, but turf breeding there. Problem with this horse, I just got him rated low speed-wise. I got him, rated as the slowest horse on here. Last out, third in the Virginia Derby. That race, a mile and 1/16 and 146. Yeah, I know Virginia Derby's not, just trying to get in there as being a Kentucky Derby prep race. I mean, hey, welcome to the party, a century and a half later. But, eventually some people catch on, right? So Virginia Derby's trying to get in there in the Derby conversation. But that kind of time you see, you're just not seeing top competition. Before that, horse was third in the Withers, 8 lengths off as well on that one, 151 in the mile and an eighth in that. So not able to put together a good time, even though they ran that really slow pace. Like I said, I don't expect to see that kind of pace here. Second in this Jerome not sure what the B is for. Before that, a 140. Before that, a win at Laurel Park back in November. A 7-length win, but a 146, mile and 1/16. Win before that in Delaware. So not to go on too much about this, but you see what you see. Delaware, Laurel Park, you're talking about Virginia Derby. These horses don't really run really well in the Derby. The competition's not good enough for them to get accustomed to what they're going to see. I don't think it's going to translate well in this one. He did come up and run in the Withers, but it was a slow Withers. So I think he's going to be shocked, and I think the horse is going to be outclassed in this one, unfortunately. Now, as the pace, I said they usually like to jog at the most in this race, 49 seconds, half mile. Sometimes they walk, sometimes they crawl, 50, 51 second. I don't understand why. That's never really to an advantage. These horses are more than well conditioned enough to handle a pace faster than that. But they still end up doing it, and once, due to style and everything, and once your front runner is that horse, then it just devolves into a terribly slow pace, and you get some kind of a big long shot to win. So, hey, if that happens, that means it's a good race for a long shot. So while I may be looking for that, I don't think that's going to happen this time. Why? Because of Bob Baffert. We know he's aggressive. We know he thinks he can take advantage of that because Bob Baffert's like, yeah, these New York guys, they're up there racing against the other horses where I'm racing against the track and the clock. And he's just going to go send them, I think. And he's got Mike Smith to do that. So even though Mike Smith isn't necessarily the best guy at doing that, I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to be, go for it, damn it. Just get him out there and get the lead. These other guys aren't going to be able to hang. And I think he's right. Technically speaking, I think he's got the fastest horse in this race. And Baffert's going to tell Mike Smith to go get it. I've got the 4, My Matoli, Luis Rivera Jr. I think he's going to be in there. Jose Lezcano on the 5 will not challenge him for the lead, even though he will stalk the pace. And I think Romero Mara will be up there as well. I think they're going to give him the lead. I think they're going to be aggressive at first, but I think they're both going to be thinking, oh, man. Because Mike Smith is like, hey, look, I'm rich. I'm just going to do what Baffert tells me to do, right? He wants me to send the horse, I'm going to send him. So he's just going to send him. And the other guy's going to be like, oh, shit, I'm getting baited. So let me back off a little bit here. So I think they're going to back off. And by the time they back off, the opening half mile will not be that fast. I think it'll end up being 47 seconds. So 47 seconds, in my opinion, is not going to be fast enough. Baffert's going to be, what are you doing? Get him going. Get him going. And Mike Smith's just going to be thinking, I'm good. I sent him to lead. I got the lead. We're good. But I don't think he can press him. He's not going to go against the clock, kind of like Johnny V would do, which is what Bob Baffert would want to see. And I think it's going to be to the detriment of these horses because 47 seconds flat, I don't think is going to end up being fast enough. I think that you're going to get Romero Mara is going to start getting antsy and saying, all right, old man, I'm coming after you. Coming at you. And he's going to go get the lead, and Mike Smith's going to be like, all right, didn't really want to go just yet, but I'm going to pick up the pace because he's picking up the pace. And then because he picked up the pace, then you're going to have the 4, is it? Yeah, the 4, My Matoli, Luis Rivera Jr. He's going to want to pick up the pace too. So then they're all going to be on it. All right, they're going to be getting going. Lezcano, I think his clock is, I might even see Lezcano's clock may be better than Mike Smith's. Maybe. And I think Lezcano's going to not necessarily fall for it, but he's going to be there and notice, all right, it's time for me to start paying attention here because all these guys are kind of moving too early. They're going to kind of start going, but not really going. And horses don't like that. Horses like to come out of the gate, get a position, and then go. They don't like for you to, all right, let's go. All right, slow it down. Let's go some more. We're going to slow it down a little more. All right, we got the lead. All right, slow it back. All right, let's get going again. They don't like that. All right. They don't like that. A lot of horses, it will ruin it. Very few horses can handle that, as we see. Those horses that can fight back after losing a lead. Don't know that Rodriguez is that horse. I don't think Rodriguez is that horse, and I think that's what he's going to get baited into. I think all these front-running horses are going to get baited into that when-to-go time. And they're going to get, as the kids like to say, FOMO. They're going to have fear of missing out on the pace. And they're going to go too early, and they're not going to hodl the pace, as the kids would say. And I think that's going to be to their detriment. That being said, I think that it's going to be Dylan Davis, the Todd Pletcher horse. Yeah, Joel Rosario, he's more talented. I just don't think he's going to have the horse in this one. I think Dylan Davis is hot right now. I think Pletcher is going to give him the right instructions and tell him when to go. And I think Davis is going to be like, hey, this guy's won this race 7 times before. Just going to do what he says. I want to ride more Pletcher horses. Who doesn't want to ride more Pletcher horses? So I'm just going to do what he says. And I think it's going to work to his advantage. I think Rosario is kind of going to end up helping him because I think Rosario will hold on as well. And I think he will feel like even though these other guys are going, Rosario's not going. So, I'm chilling too. So they're probably going to end up moving together, running in together. And so that is why I've got Rosario in the 6 Hill Road running second. Third place, McAfee. I think it's the horse is going to get him there. Eric Cancel, I think he's going to go along to get along. So I think he's going to follow this pace, a pace that will end up collapsing because the horses will get that confused thing, not get the momentum up front. There's going to be a big fall off of all these horses up front, in my opinion. The only one that does hang on to run fourth, I think, is the one Rodriguez. I think the other ones fall off. I think Lezcano and Sandevil hang in there. I don't think he's going to have the horse, however, to be able to hit the board. I just think that McAfee's going to be a better horse, and he will be able to get in there for third. But a competitive race, to say the least. Because when I look at these horses, honestly speaking, because when you get a pace that collapses, I think that gives you, that's when the variables go up in the air, you may say, and it opens you up for the long shot type situation. So in a long shot situation, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost any horse could win this one. Who do I think can't or doesn't have a good chance of winning, even with a collapsed pace? The 12 Omaha, 11 Statesman, the 8 Passion Rules. It's Brad Cox. I don't know. I might even not want to throw him out. So the reason I'm saying that is because I think it could be one of those races, as the Wood often is, and because the amount of money, that New York money, even though it's not in the purse, it is in the betting pool. So it's going to be a lot of money in this race, and I think you're going to have something long come in the money. I'm going with the 10. They got him 30-1 morning odds. Probably going to be higher. Maybe it's wishful thinking. Maybe I'm hoping to hit a big try. I won't be playing him in the win slot. But if the odds get big enough on a win, I will. And he's not that long right now. But if the odds get big enough on the 5 Sand Devil, I could throw a win on him. I don't think 8-1 is really enough, but I could see a situation to where if it's worth the risk, you could find room to slide him in there. So I'm sure you all think that. Got 2 more races to cover as well. So we're going to go ahead and call it there. Please, as usual, let me know what you think. Who do you like in this one? At least give me your winner. And let me know why you think that horse is going to win. It's going to be a crazy one. I expect to hear a lot of different picks from a lot of people. And hey, anytime when you have the morning odds, the favorite is 7-2. That tells you that it's going to be a competitive race. So stay tuned for those videos coming up on the Bluegrass Stakes and the Santa Anita Derby.